Oh boy.
I got a gross hair on my foot.
Go.
Who in the audience does not like to raise their hands? Yes, no, I know. Okay. Quote on children. All right, in our presentation today, Laura's going to be talking about unstructured child's play. Grace is going to be talking about free play, and Tyler's going to be talking about, is it free play?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And Tyler's going to be talking about autistic children. And at the end of our presentation, Cole is going to wrap it up really nicely in a great conclusion. I'm going to pass it off to Laura now. Take the reins. Get it going.
Thanks, Brian.
You're welcome.
So I'm taking a developmental psychology class, which looks at human lifespan and how they develop in different stages. I thought I might share with you what I've learned from that class on unstructured play. It's coming from Sandrock's text, which is lifespan development. First, I'll talk about the skills that kids learn through unstructured play. Then I'll talk about schools that offer that, and then I'll close with why it's important. So, the skills that they learn. Children are active learners. Between the ages of 2 and 8, they're in an incredibly important stage of learning. They're forming concepts of the world, beginning to reason, asking a lot of questions, and learning about themselves. They're active learners, which means they're actively constructing their knowledge and understanding, and their primary way of doing this is through play. Play is a child's work, kind of like their job. In play, they learn communication skills. They practice skills like sharing and testing different waters in a relaxed and pleasurable way. It helps them develop communication through discussions, negotiations, and conflict resolution. They can practice words and phrases, and this in turn helps their literary skills. They also learn self-assertion through unstructured play. It offers uncertainty, surprise, adventure, and exploration. They can develop creativity, self-regulation, and self-understanding. In unstructured play, they are figuring out what they like and the things that work and don't work in social interaction. They learn most from each other, and unstructured play allows this to happen in a real-world setting. Every child learns and develops a little bit differently. Unstructured play allows the child to learn at their own pace. It teaches them to take initiative, make decisions, and this in turn builds their self-confidence. It also involves more physical movement than structured play, which prevents obesity. Now let's take a look at ways unstructured play is implemented. Have you guys heard of the Montessori School or Reggio program? Yes.
Yes.
So these are two types of schools that are child-centered instead of teacher-centered. So they're play-oriented instead of curriculum-oriented. Teachers are encouraged to not direct students but aid them. They're seen as facilitators, not directors. The schools operate under the belief that children learn best through first-hand experiences with people and materials, and they give children the freedom to be spontaneous and choose activities. It encourages children to make decisions from an early age, and it lets them spend as much time as they want in activities. Its emphasis is on the process of learning rather than what's being learned. Children learn how to make their own choices and to experiment. These skills are important for the rest of their lives. What they learn at an early age sets the tone for adulthood. In unstructured play, they build a wide range of skills: how to communicate, make decisions, interact, and be self-assertive. Children who don't learn these things can be rejected by their peers. Studies show that this could cause them to be socially isolated for the rest of their lives. Childhood is not a time for structure. They will have the rest of their lives for that. Childhood is a time for them to discover the world and themselves through simply following their curiosity. Now I'll pass it to Grace, who's going to also talk about unstructured play.
Cool.
2-minute video?
2-minute video. Oh, yeah.
2-minute
Potential video playing. Anyways.
video.
So like Laura, I'm going to be talking about the same thing, free play, but I have 2 different articles that just cover a different aspect of it. Also, maybe bring in my personal experience from working at a preschool / helping my mom as a kindergarten teacher. they have different centers that they go to that include the use of the imagination in different settings, such as playing house or fireman or what was another one? Doctor, dress up, all those different things. And this unstructured play that there are different centers for it, but it's very unstructured. The kids can do whatever they want, dress up however they want, be whoever they want. And mostly in the communication aspect, it brings in a lot of them learning how to communicate with each other in different roles, playing different people, and then just how to communicate with their elders as well. There's an article that talks about the interaction between kids and their parents and learning respect, and a lot of this is, again, found through free play, especially watching kids play things like house. There's definitely the kids who play the baby brother or sister seem to have this respect for the mom and dad without even thinking about it. And yeah, especially in a world, it seems today, where a lot of pressure is put on students even at a very young age, like elementary school, where they get to have recess and they get to do fun things like that in the middle of the day. It seems like there's a lot more pressure on tests and structure, and not to say that sometimes these things aren't good, but there's a lot that kids miss out on how to treat each other well and how to treat each other respectfully and how to communicate well with each other outside of just test taking and to-do lists and checklists. So now I will pass it off to Tyler, who will talk about unstructured play with autistic kids.
Hello. So I have a nephew who has Asperger's, and I've been able to see him grow up. He's now 9 years old, and I know how he communicates and interacts with other children. When we talk about group play and communication, unstructured with little tiny people, we often think that they have the same cognitive and language abilities as we do. We don't take into account that they may think different or behave different than we do. And it's interesting to see how children communicate in group play when someone behaves different than they're expected to. So I have 2 articles, one from Le Goff in 2004 and the other from Thiemann Bork in 2012, that discuss different elements about autistic children in unstructured group play and how well they can adapt with certain elements like a medium such as Legos. If you have Legos present, you take an autistic child and a non-autistic child, and the autistic child will display elements of greater social interaction and also beginning the conversation. Usually autistic children are seen as stepping back and not wanting to be in the limelight. However, certain elements in unstructured group play will encourage what could be politically incorrect non-autistic behavior for autistic children. And then the Thiemann Bork article discusses themes with autistic children and children with developmental disabilities in unstructured group play. I haven't read it, but it will be good stuff. I'll talk about it. Things will go nice. Go, Cole.
So I'm basically going to conclude what everyone just said. And unstructured play in children is just like a way for them to develop creativity and learn about themselves and develop self-confidence. And free play is kind of the same. It just lets the kids take on other roles and play that way and learn through experiences and not just through tests and whatnot. And then autistic children, through their, was it unstructured play?
Yep.
Yeah.
Through their unstructured play, they, I forgot what you kind of said.
It's okay.
Well, I'm going to summarize his part too.
Yeah.
It's going to be good. And that's all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We are the Jelly Beans.
Questions?
Questions for anyone?
No.